Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Feel free to write me at walkwithtak@gmail.com if you have any question regarding this video or any other video that I have posted in the past. If you have any videos that you would like me to make, please let me know. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. A couple of months ago, my friend Dan asked me, do I stir-fry lobster? Well, lobster is not normally as part of my repertoire, but recently I came across this lobster tail on sale. It is $6.99 for a 4-ounce tail. Well, I thought I would give it a try. And if it does not work out, at least I will not waste money. So I bought the tail. Now I have to decide how I'm going to cook it. Now I remember when I was in Chicago, Chinatown during my year as a college student, there's a dish called Cantonese lobster stir-fry. I believe they still have it. It's a very expensive dish. And how they cook it is that they cut the lobster into small pieces and they stir-fry it. And the method is actually very similar that you stir-fry shrimp with shell on. And since I have a template for doing that, I don't need a recipe. So this is what I was going to do. Okay, let's go in the kitchen. I'm going to show you how I stir-fry some lobster tail. I'm going to cook this in my Cuisinart 14-inch stainless steel wok. I have many woks, and I particularly like this wok. And this is my everyday wok. And at night when I'm ready to cook, I just naturally reaching for this wok. And probably one of the most important reasons is that I like the lightness of this wok. And I also like the wok that it has a large flat surface area. So it makes like a small frying pan. It gives me much greater flexibility. This wok is very easy to clean and maintain. I have yet to find a situation that I was not able to clean the wok to restore it to its original shape in less than 2 to 3 minutes. I add 2 tablespoons of canola oil to the wok. I prefer canola oil because of its neutral flavor as well as of its high smoking point, but you can use almost any cooking oil that you would like, as long as it has a relatively high smoking point. To cook this dish, I'm going to season the wok with my spot seasoning method, which is very simple. I heat up the wok until the oil just barely to start to smoke. I maintain this temperature for about 15 seconds. I want to keep the oil as hot as possible before I add the first ingredient, which is the lobster. I use a pair of tongs to stir fry them because this will allow me to have a better control and to turn the pieces that I want. I try not to overcook them. I cook them for about probably 45 seconds. Next is that I'm going to add some shrimp. I'm using some Argentinian wild-caught red shrimp. Now this shrimp has been peeled, and so they will cook much faster than the lobster. And this is the reason I add them a little bit later in comparison to the lobster. One thing I love about this stir frying is that everything cooks extremely fast. Right now I predicted everything is about maybe 50 to 60% cooked. The next I'm going to add some broccoli. This is followed by some yellow squash. I use about 2 cups of each. Now the broccoli and yellow squash has an important function because once I add it to the wok, it will reduce the temperature of the wok. And this will slow down the rate of the cooking with the lobster as well as the shrimp. This will prevent them from overcook. And then I add about 1 tablespoon of fermented black soybean, which is a small amount, to season the dish. Fermented black soybean is coated with salt on the outside. This will serve as a salt substitute. I plan to cook the broccoli and the yellow squash for about 40 to 60 seconds. This will get them to probably about 80 to 90% cooked. And then I'm going to add additional vegetable ingredients to the dish. Those are the ingredients that I only need to cook them very lightly. And the first one is some white mushroom. And because now I'm adding all these ingredients to the wok, the temperature of the wok is relatively low. Of course, I'm worried about overcooking the lobster as well as the shrimp, but at this temperature, based on my past experience, is that they will cook relatively slowly, and the end result is that they will maintain both their moisture and tenderness. And I believe at the end, the texture should be just right. I have learned that this is a very useful method to control the cooking rate, in this case of the lobster and the shrimp, and quite often the same approach can be used with fish. Using this method, the vegetable will provide a stable temperature, and this will prevent the lobster and the shrimp from being overcooked. You can make substitution to the vegetables. I use broccoli and yellow squash because that's what I have on hand. Based on my past experience, I find Shaoxing wine is excellent for enhance the flavor of seafood. So in this case, I add about 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine. The Shaoxing wine is intended to enhance the natural flavor of the ingredients in this dish. This dish has great flavor already, so I think you probably can omit the Shaoxing wine if you would like. And the final step is that I'm going to season it very lightly with about 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Oyster sauce often adds umami flavor to the dish, so this probably will be a great addition. The last ingredients I'm going to add to the dish is some cherry tomatoes. Again, the cherry tomatoes will add both flavor and texture to the dish. However, it is optional because the dish, like I said, already have great flavor. Nevertheless, the cherry tomatoes is great to add because it enhances the color presentation of this dish. This dish is very fast to cook, and the total cook time is a little bit over 6 minutes. And for a dish with this complexity in ingredients, it is not a bad timing at all. Cooking this dish is a lot of fun because I have almost all the ingredients available. All my vegetables already cut up in my advanced prepping. All I need to do is locate them in the refrigerator. And the next thing I need to do is to thaw out some of that Argentinian wild-caught red shrimp, and it takes about 5 minutes to thaw them out. The other thing that I need to prep for is the lobster, which I need to cut them up into the pieces that I want for the stir frying. Altogether, it took me about 10 minutes from the time I walk into the kitchen to the time that I'm ready to cook them in the wok. This dish is a good demonstration of my fast cooking system. With flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking, I can cook a meal from scratch using all fresh ingredients, in this case in about 20 minutes. With advanced prepping, I have the ingredients to choose from, and with template-based cooking, I don't need a recipe. And with flavor chasing, I can adjust the flavor the way I would like. Last but not the least, I'm going to garnish the dish with a little bit of scallions. I think this dish is a demonstration of the flexibility, the creativity, as well as the convenience in cooking any dishes that you would like. Because with advanced prepping, you have all the ingredients available to you, which you can draw on in very small amount of time. In cooking this dish, I do not need a recipe. But more importantly is that I know the dish will turn out because of template-based cooking. Because I have the template that I normally use for cooking shrimp with shell on. So in this case, the lobster with shell on is not that different from shrimp. So I can use the same approach in cooking this dish. The end result is that I have confidence how this dish is going to turn out. And of course, with template-based cooking, I'm not restricted by the ingredients that I add in cooking this dish. I can choose different kind of vegetables if I would like. And with template-based cooking, I have developed an understanding of the behavior as well as the property of different kind of food ingredients. So when I cook them, I will able to expect how they're going to respond. And at the same time, I can expect what type of outcome that I will get. Well, this dish turned out to be absolutely great. In fact, it's probably the best seafood dish that I've had for a long time. I really enjoyed the lobster. It had great flavor to the dish. And also the lobster was perfectly cooked. The meat of the lobster was moist and tender. I think I'm ready to buy more lobsters, and this will be a treat for me from time to time. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine, so that your cooking will be practical, efficient, creative, and fun using my fast cooking system. If you'd like to learn more about this cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.